Welcome to Through the Looking Glass. On today's episode, we have singer, songwriter, musician, rapper Andy Amacher, and we're going to be talking to him about his music. But before we do that, as always, I'm going to hand it on over to Russ.
Hi there, welcome back to Through the Looking Glass. Just a bunch of guys sitting down talking about everything and anything. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let us know how we're doing, how good we are, how bad we are. Insult us, do whatever. Come on and talk with us, help us be a part of this. Like Adam said, we got a musician here with us. Got a really, really hot summer track right now. That's about it. Make sure to follow, subscribe, comment, repeating myself. Let's get right into it.
So, Andy, why don't you go ahead and give us a little introduction? Tell us a little bit about yourself real quick, if you don't mind.
Well, I'm Andy Amacher, and thanks for having me, for one.
Thanks for coming on.
Bud.
I'm just a normal guy from Elmira making music. Looking to make some type of difference with the music.
How long have you been doing it?
I'll say 12 years.
Oh, that long. Okay.
Nice.
Really
I'd say your music is definitely different than a lot of the other stuff I hear coming out from around here. It's unique, and I think that's what I like about it.
Thank you.
So if you're trying to make a difference with your music, I feel like having a different kind of music than most people are putting out definitely helps.
Yeah, it was definitely a process.
For sure.
Real quick, too, before we got into the music, I wanted to ask you, how's everything going with the medical issues?
Oh, man. Dude.
If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, kidney stones got me good last week.
Yeah,
that's a good one. It's probably the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life.
Is that the first time you ever had them?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I ain't never had one, and hopefully I never will.
You don't want that. No, I was in the hospital at like 6 in the morning, curled up in a ball, fetal position, dying. I thought it was my last run. I didn't know. And then you're like, yeah, no, you got kidney stones.
Yeah, they say it's some of the worst.
I've heard quite a few people describe it as the worst pain they've ever been in. My mom gave birth to 3 kids, and she said that was worse than giving birth.
That's what my mom said.
People say the same thing about tooth pain, too. Like, if you got severe enough tooth pain, they'd rather give birth than have tooth pain. So, I mean, it's all connected straight to your head. I'll never know with the kidney stones, hopefully, so.
Yeah, no, that's not fun.
So back to the music. What inspired you to start making music? Like, what were some of your biggest influences and inspirations?
Well, if I can think back to the very first time I actually wrote a rap, it was 50 Cent that got me inspired to write a rap. But my reasoning for doing music always changes. I mean, it doesn't really change. It's like I have the same goals as I did when I first started, but there's always a new goal I add to it.
Mm-hmm. Just watch tapping on the table.
Sorry.
Yeah, it actually shows up in the microphone pretty well.
Dang.
Oh no, you're good. You're good, man.
We've all learned from
Yeah.
that.
I'm like Italian. I'm not even Italian, but I talk with my hands. So I'm gonna hold.
I mean,
them
do
up.
it.
Russ
I
used
used to
ping on these, and
Every time I get rid of a bad habit, I get a new one. So
I know.
It's
So-
a learning thing.
So, like you said, your reason for making music like always changes. Couldn't that be a good thing though? Because if the reason's always the same, I feel like then the music could kind of always stay in one direction. Where when there's always different reasons to make it, then you expand more into different categories and hit different emotions with your music.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of what the first. I think it was just to be good at music, or like be able to rap, because it started at parties and there'd be a couple people that could throw down, and I couldn't do it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So
have you always felt that? Like when you were a kid, did you aspire to write music?
I think it's more about the entertainment and the performance part of it.
Yeah,
was where it started. Because I remember, like when the Guitar Hero was around, I'd be with like the broomstick, like 10 years old, lip syncing music. So Michael Jackson, a lot of Michael Jackson back when I was younger.
I get that for sure.
Yeah, pretending I was on stage with the microphone stand. And
Is it like something about that feeling you get of like performing? Because I've heard some people perform say there's like no other drug like it, being on a stage in front of a bunch of people and just
it's
pouring out your soul with some music.
It's euphoric for sure.
It is, and it can get nerve-wracking at one point. And
Oh yeah, it has to be. Your nerves have to be through the roof, especially when you're first starting.
yeah, when I first started, I'd choke. I'd be at a small bar downtown when I was like 21. When I
I'm
first
sure
got
that's
into
how it
shows.
is for most people. Just like the anxiety of just thinking 1,000 things can go wrong and 1,000 things that I don't know can go wrong. So it's like,
just forgetting one of your lyrics.
Oh yeah, I used to do that all the time because like when I did music before, I didn't have pre-recorded stuff. I just had the beat and I would rap it. What I memorized, and I have like 10 songs. I'd try to do at a show and I'd forget half the songs.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, because it's one thing hearing a song for 10 years and then just knowing it by heart, and then writing one and you've only probably heard it a couple times, and then you have to try to remember
But
it.
as time went on and I got to doing more shows and the music got better, when you could tell people are vibing to it, it just feeds your energy and you really don't even think about it. And it just, then that's where the euphoric, like awesome feeling just hits you right on stage and you're in a mode and you're flowing.
Yeah, it'll melt your stage fright right away.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about being on stage and performing, can you explain to people out there your grassroots debacle?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there and I heard about it. So
I mean,
hey man, anything you don't want to talk about, you just
no, it's cool. It's cool. It's just I was really hoping for this show to be like the best one I've done yet, because it was a bigger venue, and a bigger opportunity. I feel like could have arose from is that the word? Arose from it, and it's just like the sound. I was just at an a cappella set basically because the sound just wasn't there. My beat was way low, and my vocals were too high, or my vocals were too low and beat was too high.
So it was a sound issue, and
Basically, yeah.
I mean,
But
that'll happen
Yeah, it'll
basically
happen.
anywhere, you know.
I mean,
better luck next time.
when I first heard that happened and that you had to do most of your set kind of a cappella, my first thought was, well, damn, that takes some talent though to just stand up on stage and go a cappella and still entertain the crowd. Because I feel like most people would have either got nervous, not done it, not been able to do a cappella very well.
I had to push through that one. I definitely and I'm not used to in-ear monitors. It was my first time using them, and I kept taking them in and out,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like I was sounding better with them out. And and then the stage fright kind of set in there for a second, and I stumbled over a couple words, but people don't really notice it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So
on
what is
my
it?
songs like that? So
What is it that makes the having the earpiece in different than having it out?
I thought it'd be the same as when I do recordings at home, because I always hear my own voice when I do recordings, or when I practice for my set. I like to hear my own voice so I can line it up with the beat and be on time. I just felt like the in-ear monitors weren't loud enough, or they were too loud, and I couldn't hear the beat. So
I'm
it
the
was like a
same way.
mixed
I don't
jumble.
like having. I like to be able to hear my voice.
It was kind of last minute. Probably should have just did it the way I knew best for that show, and then the next time when I get used to in-ears. So in the future, I'm sure it'll get better.
So, do you do anything to like hype yourself up or get like mentally ready to go on stage?
Oh, pre-show ritual.
Yeah, like anything like that, or do you just kind of hop up there and go with it?
I definitely just try to take that day easy
Mm-hmm.
and be as chill, because I'm already an energetic person, and I try to save all my energy for the show. And some of my songs are like hard to get out. There's a lot of words, and you need a lot of breath. So I can't be putting out too much energy throughout the day before the show. And I was smoking cigarettes, but I quit. And when I was smoking cigarettes, I wouldn't smoke a cigarette before the set for like 2-3 hours just to make sure my voice was a little bit more clear. And just water. Yeah, no alcohol. Some people like to drink before set. I used to
Right.
do that when I was younger, but
Kill the nerves
it
a little
kinda
bit.
makes me slur words and hard to, get them out like I should.
I mean, we've all heard like rock stars back in the day, 80s and 90s, being absolutely hammered on stage and
yeah.
giving bad shows because they're just like partied way too hard. So 12 years. So you said you're from Elmira. Where do you currently live? Like,
Elmira, yeah.
you
So I
live
was born in
Elmira.
Florida
Okay.
and moved here in '99 over behind Southside High School. And that's about it. Yeah, I've been here for the whole time. I haven't left.
Yeah. I mean, some people do, some people don't.
Yeah. Most people don't.
Yeah.
Most people are stuck in Elmira.
It is. But I mean, some people got dreams. You're actually living yours out. You know, that's commendable for sure. Like, we've got this going on, a little hobby. We've been about a year still figuring things out. And of course, I mean, everybody does. Some people go 20 years doing something that they're passionate about, and they still are learning through the process. So, you know, Adam showed me your music video, your summertime hit, and that shit hits pretty hard. That rocks, you know. I want to help get that out a little bit more, because that was a pretty good banger.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of meaning to that.
Yeah.
More than just easy listening summer vibe song. But I tried to make it as vague enough and like as boppy for easy listening for everybody, but also for the deeper thinkers to really listen to the lyrics and see another message in there.
Right.
That's why I described it to one of my coworkers as relatable. I was like, when you listen to the lyrics, it's relatable. I feel like it's something everybody feels and goes through. That feeling of just trying to run away from something.
And there was a couple of subliminals that I'm not sure if they were intentional or not, but in the beginning when I'm running towards that building and it's all ran down, and then when the hook comes in, I've been running from all my pain. And it's like I'm running from that abandoned building and all the bad times. It's kind of like a metaphoric subliminal message.
I took from it too that the running away from it though, like you're also running towards the joy that can be there when you get away from that pain.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times the things with subliminal messaging is it's subconscious.
Yeah.
So even as an artist, when you're planning something out, when you use a specific setting and like you just said, you see the message there as the dilapidated building's there and you're running with the hook that comes in. You may not have intentionally put it there, but your subconscious was like, this means more, and that's why you put it in that order.
Yeah, half of that song, it just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, a lot of it's
sometimes that's where the hits come from.
Subliminal Bible scripture, and I don't read the Bible every day, but I have been getting into it more. And it just kind of came out in the music in a more easy listening way than other Christian music.
You know, that's been talking to a lot of people. That seems to be hitting a lot of people lately. The biblical texts are starting to kind of make a comeback. It's refreshing.
So since we're on this topic, that brings me to one of the questions I have. Like, could you walk us through like your creative process and how you come up with ideas for new songs, or like what you put into your music videos?
So the song part, that song specifically, just kind of like scroll through beats on YouTube, because I don't make beats, but I have to pick the right one because it's all about the right beat. And I'll scroll through hundreds of beats. But that was probably the third or fourth one I found, and I'm just vibing to it. And the hook just, I kind of pretty much freestyle in every song I do, just to start it out. And then I'll go on back on some of my old written, because I have books and books of old written stuff, just ideas I jot down here and there. So it could be like 3 words, and I'll do a whole song off just 3 words. And
do you still do it that way? Do you write
it's
it
always
down, or
different,
do you
though.
voice record yourself and then listen back to it?
I usually just write it down.
Yeah.
And I try to do pen and paper because it seems to stick to me more than if I type it in a phone. Yeah. And then if my phone breaks, I lose it.
Yeah.
And I don't.
That's why I manually write everything down now.
Yeah. And a lot of times words will come after the melody is there. And I'll just like hum and bebop a melody and record that. And then it just kind of came to me with that one. The process changes. It's always different. Some songs come to me, some things I have right there on the spot, and I just want to put it down. And I'll write down an entire paragraph of stuff and then rearrange it to make it more aesthetic for the song than just saying words.
So for the music video on that one, did you come up with all the ideas for the music video, or
Brandon Cookland usually comes up with a lot of the music video, because he's the videographer and he does a lot of them. He's got a lot of good ideas. So
he does really good work too.
Yeah, I throw in some ideas here and there, and he puts them in there.
Right.
I think the cookout part was my idea.
That was actually good. That was actually kind of relatable because it threw me back to a time when like families would actually get together in the summertime and do cookouts and
More of that
essentials.
90s nostalgia.
yeah.
And the running part was his idea. And we actually had 3 other shots that we did at other places, and we didn't even use them. There might have been 2 other places, but
Sometimes that's how
yeah,
it, you
so they
know.
don't make the cut, you know.
Movies do it too. They cut stuff all the time. So he's your videographer. Is he like your editor too? He does the
Yeah, he
video
does
editing.
all that. He just shoots a shot, and I just do my part.
You know who Dave East is?
No.
Rapper from New York City, bigger name. Cookland's done music videos for him. Even I'm pretty sure done like pictures and videos.
They're more
of
friends
his
than
concerts
anything.
and stuff too. So
Yeah,
That's dope.
yeah, Cookland does really good work. Definitely a good choice picking him for your video.
most
Definitely
definitely. We got-
pulled the
we
whole
got-
thing together.
We got a couple more in the works. I can't wait.
Yeah, I noticed you put a post out. You're doing a video for one of your older songs.
Yes, that one's been. Cookland's always like, dude, we're about to go another summer without making this video. But we got it working. We're going.
So what's this other song that you're gonna do a video for?
What I made of?
Okay.
Yeah, it's already on the streaming platforms.
Okay.
That was the one I dropped 2 years ago, and it did pretty good without a video. But that one's, it's like one of a kind. I haven't, not that I try to emulate what other songs that I've made sound like, because I just go with the flow. But that one is super special. It's just different.
Okay. Well, hopefully the video can come together and hopefully it comes out nice and
Yeah.
hopefully you can make both of these videos go viral.
Yeah, Cookland's got a really good idea for that one.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Any sneak peeks or any hints on?
Nah, I can't do it.
Do you guys do you have like a set date of when you want to have that video done or any ideas?
We're supposed to shoot it today.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a busy day.
Yeah, the last 2 days have been crazy.
So how many songs you got out right now?
I
about
got,
to ask.
I think 5 on, 4 on all streaming platforms because I own the beat. I have the rights to the beats.
Yeah.
But then, I want to say there's 2 more on YouTube. So there's 7, 5 or 6 or 7 out on YouTube because the other ones I don't own rights to, but they're,
Right.
you know, I can still put them on YouTube, not monetize.
Yeah. But you're monetized on the songs that you have the.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty
I
dope.
got like 6 other songs to come, and they're amazing. I think they're some of the best work I've done yet.
Yeah. So we've seen you. You're on YouTube and Spotify. What other You're on like iTunes.
Apple
and,
Now is Apple Music, iTunes the same thing? Is it completely different?
It is, ain't it?
I don't know. I've never used
I don't
Apple.
use
and-
Apple products. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. I'm
They're
pretty
both
sure
an
it's the
Apple
same.
brand. I figured they'd
Yeah,
be
I
the
think
same.
I
but
think
the
iTunes is
and
what
App-
it used to be called, and now it's just branded as Apple Music. But
Yeah. Because they
Yeah.
do podcasts and everything too. So.
I bought a Apple computer one time and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stick with Windows. I don't like the operating system.
Yeah, it's weird.
So since we were on this topic, it kind of matches up with another one of my the questions I have jotted down. I was going to ask if you have any other projects or collaborations upcoming that you're excited about.
I have like the 4 or 5 new songs. Still got to mix and master. I had a collaboration set up with a folk singer from Massachusetts.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
It's a totally different genre, and I created a song just to get him on it. But he's pretty busy,
Oh, of
busy
course.
guy, and he's on tour right now. So
Okay.
we'll see in the next months to come.
If it works, it works. If not, I mean, branching out to different genres is never a bad thing.
Yeah,
so
no,
it's definitely broadening your horizons and everything.
So is there anybody in the area that you would love to collaborate with that you haven't collaborated with yet?
Yeah, John Fall.
Okay,
I've
I
been trying
like
to do a song with that guy for a while.
I like John Fall's music.
I'll have to look
I'm
at
sure
it.
there's Brooklyn. She's been wanting me to get her on one of the songs for a while, and that should be coming soon as well. She's in school right now, so she's pretty busy for music actually. So, but when that time comes, that song's gonna be a banger because she makes any song good.
She's got a good voice.
Yes,
Do you know Erica Smith?
Erica Smith. Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I went
she-
to high school with her.
Yeah, yeah.
Does she still do music?
I haven't heard her sing in a while, but like she'll do karaoke and stuff. And I remember because I work with her mother, and it was big back in the day. I worked with her for a little bit, and she always had an amazing voice. And then she did the competition there. I think it was America's Got Talent. It was or The Voice. I can't remember
America's Got
specifically
Talent.
which one, but I mean she's great.
Yeah, and
know?
she does like Twin Tears Idol and
Yeah.
I forgot about Twin Tears Idol.
and I think she
Might be able
performed at a
to
live after
re-spark
5
something
times.
in her too. I think she
That'd be dope.
might still love it. I'm sure she sits at home.
I'm willing
all
to work
day
with
and
any
sings.
artist in town, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Was there been anything anything locally that has happened or experience you've had living here in New York that has inspired you to make any song or anything like that?
Actually, the song I had just recently written and recorded, it's called Why So Angry. Because I feel like myself especially, but a few people around me always get mad about just ridiculous stuff.
That's a New Yorker thing.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
a New York
It's a-
thing.
It
is to
is a
just
New
get
York
mad
thing.
and the road rage out there. It's crazy.
I can't say anything about road rage. I do that
I know,
five.
I'm-
I do that
I'm pretty
5
bad
nights a
with it.
week while I'm
Yeah.
delivering pizza. So
That's definitely kind of a upper East Coast thing because that Southern hospitality don't.
I know it's kind of cold. I've
Ain't never
been to
here.
the city in Buffalo and Rochester. It's same here.
Yep.
You got your nice people. People there,
Yeah.
But
New Yorkers are just kind of naturally cocky and a little bit arrogant about a lot of things.
people from New York City
I'm
are a
definitely
different
guilty of
breed.
that.
They are a different breed.
So anytime in your artistic career that you've found yourself having like writer's block or a mental slump, what have you done to try to deal with that or like overcome that?
It'd be like the worst feeling too. Like I've gone 6 months without thinking of a word to even say, and it kills me sometimes. Just feel like I lost
Depression.
my mojo.
Yeah.
Can't do music anymore. I just recently went through that, and then I wrote Summertime and like 4 or 5 other songs in the same month. After that 6 to 8 months with not saying a word or writing a word, and I feel pretty good about it. So I mean, the writer's block, I don't know what it is, but it just comes and goes, and there's not much I can do about it. I try.
Yeah, it's like everybody gets it.
Yeah, it is weird how
Yeah.
I think everybody just kind of becomes a little burnt out by stuff,
Yeah.
and your brain just needs time to recuperate and recover. I think sometimes it's like a factory reset. Your brain is just kind of like clearing out all the data and then making room for you to be able to absorb more.
By factory reset, do you mean psilocybin mushrooms?
Cannot confirm nor deny.
It's a pretty decent reset, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I've had some resets before.
That is one question I had, and you don't have to answer. I was going to ask you if you've ever found inspiration through the psychedelic experience.
I've been on this conversation before, and it seems to be every time it gets down to it, and I'm in a trippy moment, I'm not even thinking about music at all.
But I mean, like,
Experiencing life way too much.
has there ever been anything in a psychedelic experience that has later on influenced your music?
Okay, yes, actually. Yes. I did write an entire song then after a weekend out in Lake George. It was called Life Lessons. It's pretty much an ego was broken down that weekend, and I made a song off of it. So yeah, some music
That's-
has came from that.
That's always something I like to ask people, is if they've ever gotten
That's-
inspiration from a psychedelic experience.
I need to drop that because I wrote that song like a year and a half ago. It's recorded and done. It's just sitting there.
Yeah, release it.
It's a good one too.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
Out of all the songs you've written, which one's your favorite to perform?
My favorite to perform. Probably Endless Nights or Life Lessons. Because I
Okay.
do still perform the songs I haven't released yet. Yeah.
And then I had like a follow-up question to that. If you've ever been able to like notice, is there any one of your songs that seems to get like the best crowd response?
Summertime.
Summertime.
and what I'm made
It's a
of.
whole vibe.
Yeah,
It really
summertime
is.
really is.
What I'm made of is a similar vibe, a little bit more intricate with the wording and the verses on it. But there was no video, and it still did pretty well. It's almost at 3K on YouTube alone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Zero
know,
promotion.
It does only take that one catchy hook where it just
Mhm.
sticks with people for generations.
And summertime is. They did better than I expected right off the no promotion, no paid
I loved it.
advertising at
It's
all.
good.
Just dropped it on my Facebook, and it just went up to 24K.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people sharing it. I shared it a couple times and
Yeah, same.
Same. Shared it several
played it a
times.
couple times. Be like, yo, check this out.
I showed my coworkers. My one coworker came back. I was jamming to it doing dishes the one night. And he came back. He's like, "What's this song?" I was like, "Oh, this kid's actually from Elmira." I was like, "It's Andy Amacher." I was like,
I feel
he recently dropped this song, and I can't stop jamming to it.
I feel like people the song's catchy for sure. And I feel like that catchy hook. I don't know if people really catch the double entendre wordplay in that second verse.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Like you said,
It's pretty intricate.
deeper
so.
thinkers, they'll enjoy the song for it being catchy and being able to ride along with it, but understanding the deeper meaning. And then other people that just like music to like it, they're just bobbing their head to it because it's making them feel better. The vibration's high. It's kind of like a nice chill. It gets them in a hype moment. Yeah.
Yeah,
talking about
I
the
don't pay attention to
summertime.
lyrics at all.
How can you not love summertime?
Yeah, some people, they just like the beat. And I find myself listening to music that doesn't have words all the time.
Yeah.
Like Tycho or.
I got coworkers that hate it. They're like, "What is this elevator music?" I'm like, "Bro, just listen. Like the beats are
I just
nice.
like the
It gets
beats.
you going." It's
Yeah.
like there's no words. Don't have to have words.
Even though I write words, I sometimes don't even like to pay attention to them. So I feel the vibrations of the beat. Puts you in a mode.
It does.
I think that's why I listen to a lot of dubstep, because it's just the sound, the vibration. I can get lost in it.
The fast pace
Yep.
and the hard hits.
Even some of the down tempo or mid tempo stuff is real good too.
Chill
some
step.
of the slower
Yeah.
stuff.
I'll listen to chill step
listen
when
to
I'm trying to
Hippie
relax.
Sabotage?
I like Hippie Sabotage. Yep.
I love them.
Yep.
And they're even better in person.
You guys
They're
ever heard
amazing.
the song "No Words"
No words?
by Hobson?
Yeah, yeah,
By Hobson? I
Yeah.
feel like I should know that.
yeah.
It's-
It's
watch the
hilarious.
Watch the video?
It's I love it.
He's basically just making fun of today's rappers that sound like they're
Was this
not.
a new one?
This was a couple
was-
years back, maybe 5 or 6 years ago now.
Oh, so he just
Yeah.
saw it coming and he was like, "Yeah."
And he was
17,
basically, he made a whole rap song where he just made noises that sound like words,
Yeah.
kind of like a lot
Oh,
of
I did
mumble
hear that
rappers
one.
do.
I
Yeah,
did hear that one.
That's the one.
That was kind of fire.
It was.
Do you got any opinions on like current music nowadays? Because there's a lot of music that's come out that is just
In my arrogant,
awful,
there is some pretty bad music out there, but
but they're top charters, and I don't get it.
um,
It's wild. Like just right off the top of my head, the worst one I've ever heard is WAP. Like
WAP?
that is just
that's a complex situation. That is very deep. And
something's
a
deep in that song.
dark
That's for
world
sure.
when you think about how Sam Smith recently came out with that one song, and it's just super satanic and just bad vibes. And I feel like
Yeah.
it gave him a bad rap.
The dun 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 dun. That
It's
was
just-
I think I do listen to that
That one?
song because there's something about that song is kind of entrancing, but yeah, Sam Smith's transformation over the last
It's the
couple
devil
years has
seducing
been-
your ears, brother.
Yeah, that's wild. Same thing with another female rapper. I like a couple of her songs, but then she just started straight putting demonic things in her music, and it's like,
Are you talking about Doja Cat?
yeah, I like a
Okay.
couple of Doja Cat's music.
I liked a lot of her
Yeah,
other stuff.
but
I'm not
recently
really
it's just
familiar with
like-
her music, so I can't make a judgment.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
One of
complex.
my favorite female rappers, probably Snow the Product. I don't think a lot of people listen to her. I think she's highly underrated.
I want to say Drew Schaefer did a show with her
Did he?
back before she was big. She's good. I'm trying to think of that one redhead girl from Wild and Out. I've been seeing her stuff drop lately. It's amazing.
Don't
I think
know.
she's
I don't
she's
watch
probably
her
the best
now,
one out.
so.
I can't
I've
think
seen
of her
her
name.
comedy. Are you talking about the ginger girl? The white ginger girl?
She's like I think she's a fake ginger. Her hair is red, but she's not actually a redhead.
I've seen a couple of her like weird comedy skits.
She did this the female Slim Shady. It was pretty.
Yeah, I
pretty
haven't
dope.
seen any of that, sadly.
You have to check it out. It's pretty dope.
So, what's the most challenging thing you've faced doing music in your music career?
I'd say the whole thing is pretty challenging.
Everything you love is.
Pretty much, learning how to mix and master was pretty challenging.
That's what stopped me from completing all my hundreds upon hundreds unfinished projects.
I think that's in combination of your ADHD.
Well, that too.
Yeah, it's definitely my ADHD is like. In one of my songs, I said, okay, I forgot what I said, but just ADHD has me in a mess. Can't finish anything. This is something along that lines. But yeah, because I have like 15 other songs that are just like in pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And then like 4 not released, but it's just because I have to mix and master them and to sit down and pay attention to doing that when I have a million other things to do.
I'm sure that's the case with most artists. Like
Yeah.
Even the big names today, if you think about Eminem, Taylor Swift, I bet they've got books piled up of ideas or like half-written songs, lyrics, trying to make hooks, and they're just
I know for a
throwaways.
fact one of my favorite music artists does that. LS Dream, he's just got all kinds of music that he's just played around with. It's unreleased. Him and Closey, my other favorite artist, are doing a whole album together that they're releasing September 27th under the name LSZ.
Really?
And
That's
same
dope.
same thing with her. She's got a bunch of unreleased stuff in her catalog, and her and LS Dream just got together and mixed a bunch of their stuff together, and it's probably going to be the greatest album in the history of music. It could just be my bias because they're two of my favorite artists, but pretty sure it's going to be the greatest album in
when's
the
that
history
come
of
out?
music. September 27th.
gonna have to
They've
check it
they've already released 4 singles, and every single one gives me chills.
Nice. Yeah, but I'm sure that's the case with like every artist. If you
Yeah.
really look back, I'm sure even like Leonardo da Vinci, there were things that he just threw away because he was halfway done with it and he just couldn't stand looking at it anymore. So
Yeah, some things I have to switch up. I'll do music for like 4 or 5 hours in a night and can only work on something for so long and then switch to something else. Then I'll switch back. And I'm going to go to bed. Like, it's too much.
sometimes walking away from something helps you clear your mind because you're not distracted actually looking at it. You're able to just kind of sit there. We've all had that experience where you're just doing something monotonous in life. You're just doing the dishes and then you're like, oh shit, and then you run back and you write it down and because you're like, it
Yeah, I've
just
changed.
fucking came to you.
I've completely changed songs doing that.
Yeah.
And they came out way better. Just giving it the time and patience to, fester up the right vibe.
Sometimes just trying to force it out of your head ain't the way.
It's not. No.
It's wild how the human brain will work like that sometimes. It's just
Yeah.
like, no, I don't want to. I'm going to. I don't want to. All right.
Sounds almost deterministic, doesn't it?
Stop that.
Just saying. So, what's been the most memorable moment in your music career so far?
Maybe besides Grassroots?
I mean, it's still fun. And
Yeah, that would be pretty memorable.
I want to
sure it was
say
still a
the
party.
skate competition at Eldridge when it was pouring rain, and I got this wireless microphone in my hand doing my songs. It just felt like a movie scene. It's like a cinematic movie scene. It
Like
was
the
pretty
final
dope.
scene of Step Up 2 in the streets
Yeah,
when they're
literally.
dancing in the rain.
It was dope.
When was
Okay.
That was last summer. 3 a.m. Save on hitting through that. And
They still do competitions down at the park and everything?
I think he just
He
did it
just-
last month.
Yeah.
A month
Oh,
before.
really?
Yeah, very recent.
Okay.
I wasn't even in town. But hopefully we can do something next year with that because it was pretty fun. And then there's
That's something we should definitely have is like people that do community stuff around town.
hmm Well, we've wanted to have the owner of
Yeah, he was supposed to
3
come
a.m. on.
but never got back to me.
I was do like community stuff. Like, what do you mean?
Just like people around town that are involved in like community programs and things like that. Maybe like how we have the street art festival every summer, have an organizer from that come down, or the Elmira beautification project that's going on. You see all
that's
the
dope.
paintings and the
That stuff
murals
is dope
around
how they're
town.
doing that.
Have an organizer, like the leader of that,
Leader
come
of
in,
the
talk
Elmira
down.
downtown
That'd
development.
be dope
Yeah.
to
One of
the
interview
artists
that.
do some
Yeah.
of the murals.
I tried reaching out to one because I saw them working on one. It's across the street from town hall there, and no word back. It's
Dang.
just I think people are just so busy, or they
Yeah.
just really don't want to be involved in
Yeah.
like this. They're just so busy doing everything else. What's the point, kind of thing? But
I could try to get the people that opened Eminem's Hots back up on. Although I don't know if they'd be able to do a Monday.
probably
No, they're
not.
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually doing, that's whose photos I'm doing this coming weekend
Okay.
for their wedding.
Well,
You know,
then you definitely have an opportunity to ask. I mean, it's just 3 hours.
You know-
Anybody could step out of their business for 3 hours.
you actually know who it is. I usually don't like name dropping on the podcast, but it's Gallagher.
Oh, cool,
Yep.
cool, cool.
Yep.
He's cool.
Yeah, my buddy actually works there now. He was working at the country club as a chef. Now he's working on there.
That's dope.
Still got to stop by. I used to go there all the time.
So what we've been doing a lot about your music and stuff, but tell us more about like you. What's it been like living in Elmira, and like what are some of the favorite things that you like to do around town? Do you travel out, go to Watkins Glen, the lake? Obviously, you got friends that you spend time with and stuff. Like, what's a life with day in your shoes?
I mean, it's pretty active. A lot of stuff I like to do is I like to be in the woods a lot. I've done a lot of hiking lately.
That's dope.
Yeah, definitely.
Reconnect with nature for sure.
In Elmira, my days in Elmira have been a bit wild. I don't know if I want
Devil
to touch
into
base
that.
on too much of those days, but there's a lot to do here. Enough.
There's more than people give it credit for.
Yeah, and I like to do that for my music video. That was like an annual summer cookout I like to do at Miller's Pond. I just like the big cookout thing once a year, and then other than that, I'm always working.
Perfect idea throwing that cookout into the music video
Yeah,
for sure. Especially if it's something you do every year. It's like, hey, why not get two birds stoned at once, Have the cookout and film for the video.
I haven't done it all this summer. This longboard across town. I usually do that a lot.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. Never
Actually
really is a
pretty
trickster, not a trick board, just a longboard, cruising around, sitting at the park.
I've seen
Couple
those
ideas.
electric longboards now that you control with like a
yeah.
remote to speed
Yeah,
up and
they're
slow
dope as shit.
down.
I've seen like mini bikes and everything where it's like a miniature scooter, but still kind of full size.
Dude, some of those e-bikes go like 28 miles an hour. One of my coworkers passed me on once when I was
Yeah,
at a
they
four-way
get
stop
fast.
sign, and I had to punch the gas pedal to get back up to him.
I mean, they're only getting better and better. As long as it's under 100 cc's, you don't need a license, you don't need a helmet. So
It's pretty dope. Yeah, there's the trails, mud flats. Used to have a mini bike, but it got stolen. But
that'll happen a lot around
Sadly,
trails, I guess some-
not
I used to
surprising.
live right like 2 minutes from there. I'd be there every day.
On
Yeah, over in Dinini.
place.
Didn't any place?
the Nindy place.
So, what advice would you give to younger people that are wanting to get into the music industry or do music?
Don't sell your soul.
Yeah, just don't take other people's opinions, and just do it, and just keep at it, and listen to more than just one genre of music. Because I feel like if you're gonna do one type of genre of music, even if you're listening to multiple, it still makes that one type of genre. Like whatever you're making, just that much better. Broaden your horizon for different flows and different notes to hit, and give you different ideas on how to write,
Mm-hmm.
and just be more open to things. But when people are doubting your whole vision, just don't listen to them,
Mm-hmm.
because
Prove them wrong.
they don't have the vision. They're not going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So you just do it.
And just remember, misery loves company. So
Yeah.
people
Yep.
that don't have hopes, dreams, aspirations, they want you to stay right where you are.
You gotta stick to it.
People doing nothing love to hate on people trying something.
Yeah.
You gotta
Because then
stick
it
to
proves
it.
that they ain't nothing.
So there was one thing you said in that statement that brought me to another question when you were talking about looking into other genres and styles to broaden your horizons. I know earlier you were talking about the folk style collaboration, but I was wondering if there was any other genres or styles of music you were interested in exploring yourself
Yeah.
to create.
Folk music. I'm pretty big on the folk music. See, I was started off with rap, but then as I got to listening to Avicii and other pop artists like One Republic, I think Avicii's more pop. It's like electronic pop. But the vocalists he has on the songs that he makes, yeah, they're more pop. And then you got like One Republic and all that. I got into that. That's where I made Built Upon Faith, and that's not a rap song at all. That's more, I don't know what you would call it, cinematic pop. I don't know. Have you guys heard the song Built Upon Faith?
Have to
I
look
don't
at
believe
it.
so.
Okay.
Is that one that's on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a video I'm doing for that soon. But I did the songwriters retreat with Ryan Monteblue last October, and he's straight folk bluegrass type music. And so I touched base in that. I got what is it? Daydreaming I had already released. But that was my first attempt at that genre. But my newest one I have for it, called New Day, that's the one. Yeah. I wish I could show you guys, but it's almost done.
Could you ever imagine yourself doing like a collaboration with like a style, like a band like Twiddle?
Yeah, I love Twiddle.
Yeah.
And I would love to do
I
that.
just
Twiddle.
heard them for the first time like 4 days
what
ago.
song?
Really?
Oh my! I just
Now I'm completely out of the loop.
I always
What
turn
is-
people on with
Twiddle?
either Polluted Beauty or When It Rains It Pours.
that's
Yep.
the first one. I
Beautiful
think that's the
is
first
probably
one
my
I
favorite
heard.
song.
Which one?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Okay.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
Abby put it on, and I was like, "Ooh, who is this?" And then I just-
TWIDDLE?
Yeah, I
They're
just
big
listened
influence.
to every album they had, and
Okay.
Yeah, we saw them.
what
We saw
genre are
them
they?
live. It can be like bluegrass, jam band. Could you consider it folk?
in a way, some songs. Certainly some of their older ones, for sure.
Yeah, we saw them live for the first time out at the Wow Hall in Eugene, Oregon in 2015. And this was only like a couple months after even discovering who they were. They were out there with the Works. The Works are pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
They put on a good show together.
I've seen both of them live.
Yeah, the show just seemed way better than it was because I had taken some MDMA, but the show
pretty
was
good live,
The show
sober.
was great.
There's some of the I've seen from MGK, J. Cole to Slightly Stupid, Dirty Heads, but Twiddle's like up there. And they're really good live. Probably one of the best bands I've ever seen live.
See, I love live music, and I'm sad I've never been to a dubstep show, which is crazy because that's like the
They're nuts.
main genre that I listen to.
They're crazy.
Go down to New York City. There's one every night.
I want to go out to Red Rocks in October to see LSZ, but I'm not going to be able to make it, sadly.
If you try.
I was also trying to get to Buffalo this past February to see Subtronics, and then again, situation with my dog, couldn't make it. So
Yeah, they do a lot in Buffalo. I did went to a
Yeah.
Hyperglow up there. And Binghamton. Rochester does foam party, basement raves. It's pretty nuts.
yeah, Excision was up there in March too, but same thing, issue with my dog. I couldn't go. So someday I'll get to a dubstep show. Eventually.
Yeah. I haven't been to a show in a long time.
yeah, it's been a bit.
I think one of the last ones I was at was fucking, what is that they used to do at Darien Lake? They ended up shutting it down.
Warped Tour.
Yeah.
I love
They're
Warped Tour.
bringing that back.
Are
They
they?
are?
Bring it back. I think so.
No way, I'm
'Cause I
going.
think there was
Nice.
things for Warped Tour 2024 that were.
I'm going.
I could have swore I saw something
I
for
would-
that too.
Yeah.
Going around earlier
I need to
this
go
year.
to Warped Tour again. That was one of the best experiences of my life.
Yeah,
Never went.
It was
From
fantastic.
16 to, I think they stopped doing it when I was 20. 21. Some wild times. I did
Yeah,
some
for
wild
sure.
things.
Never been to a
I
Warped
remember
Tour.
my first time going, I strapped 16 little shot bottles to my thigh.
Jesus.
And I had half a water bottle full of Red Stag. And I chugged that at the front gate. We get in there, we got like 16 little doobies rolled up. Yeah, that was a fun time. We lost
Yeah,
the
'cause
keys in the mud.
you get everything from rap to metal there.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you got 12 different stages. Like that's
Then when it rains, it's a mud fest. Lost the car keys one year. We had to wait for my buddy's mom to come pick us up like 3 hours.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's rough.
dude. Yep.
I mean, it's a memory, right?
Oh yeah. Always a story to tell.
Speaking of stories to tell, and earlier you were talking about, finding motivation in places. What's one of the most unexpected places or like strangest situations you've ever found inspiration from?
That's a good question. All right, say it again.
Like what's one of the weirdest situations or like strangest places you've ever found musical inspiration from?
I mean, honestly, it's not that strange, but I mean the toilet.
Okay.
I think that's where most people's good ideas come from.
Yeah, that's where
When
you
they're
have
sitting in
the
bathroom
best
thinking to
epiphanies.
themselves,
I had wrote a whole entire song about taking a shit.
Hey, that's some
It's
inspiration.
actually a banger too.
You should put it out.
I
would.
was thinking about it, but I'm like, it's really good, and I don't want to be that funny rapper guy. See, there's the political rapper, and then the funny rap. I'm like, do I want to be stuck to one of these niche? What's the right word? Niche.
Just prove that you can wiggle between everything,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh yeah.
touch
It's-
base on
it's-
everything.
Plus, you never know. It might be good enough to where parents start like showing their kids, and this is the new potty song. It could be remembered forever as the potty song.
You think you'd ever be able to write a political rap on why you wouldn't be a political rapper?
Because everything's corrupt and everybody sucks.
That's a good one.
It'd be
I
interesting.
could probably do that. Take
I
some
mean-
time to think about that one.
There are definitely, like we talked about it outside, but Tom MacDonald really introduced a lot of people to kind of the political sphere and how things go and the craziness of it all. There's other people that have jumped on and people that have, of course, criticized. Who is that one Appalachian man? Anthony, I believe. I've been selling my soul.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh, Oliver Anthony.
Oliver Anthony,
From
yeah.
Virginia.
Like that song,
That's
Just-
political.
it is, but at the same time, it's like it's just the woes of like a blue collar man,
Yeah.
and it hit a chord with so many. The dude got like 20
It
million
resonated
views in 24 hours, and
Yeah.
instantly became famous. And the attacks from people, of course, was like, the song. It was like, no, this is how a lot of people feel. Like he's singing from his heart and his soul, and that's why it's connecting with so many people.
It was a good song.
It is a good fucking song. It's so good. A lot of his other songs are pretty good, but that one just like, that's all it takes. You know, something really from the heart and the soul about how you feel in life that just connected.
Yeah, I
It's
heard.
so many.
I heard it's best to just make your art for yourself and from the soul, and then let it be relatable to who it is. Just let it do its thing. Because it just seems to be when you're making something for somebody that you think they're gonna like, it just doesn't resonate as well.
Yeah. Because you can't please everybody. So if
Yeah.
you're trying to please a mass amount of people, it's just going to fall off. But people are more relatable than everybody really realizes. We're all alike in some way. So if you just do something.
People have more differences or
more things alike
similarities
than they are different.
Like your song, "When It's Bad, It Don't Last."
Yeah,
When it's bad, it don't last, man. It's like a storm that's passing. It's gonna end. That's so relatable.
Everybody's heard the saying, everything happens in threes. You got three goods, you got three bads, or it's a roller coaster. There's ups and downs. Everybody can relate to that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
Yeah.
Is that one that's released, or you don't want to
I
see the
think
light
it's
of
on
day?
Reverb Nation still. It's called DSTSTIB.
I'm sorry, what?
DSTITIB.
It's DSTSTIB. It's Diamond Street Stib Skate Till It Breaks.
Okay.
Yeah, it was when I was like 18.
Okay.
It was a skate group thing. It was so corny.
Hey, I know how the corny goes when you're
It's so
young,
corny.
man.
Uh,
I mean, I recorded a song when I was 19 called "I'm Swaggin'," So yeah, talk about corny.
I mean,
So
you thought it was good back then.
Oh, I thought it
it's
was so great. I thought it was the best ever.
It probably still is. It's just a part of you has matured past that, and you know, some people call it cringe nowadays. It's like
pretty bad.
It is what it is. Like we think people in the '80s having mullets was it's cringy as shit, but back then that's what it is.
I fucking love a mullet, but Erica won't let me get one. She's like, I swear to God, if you cut your hair into a mullet, I'm not talking to you until it grows back.
I'll probably have a mullet by next summer.
Yeah, your hair grows wicked fast. You're a weirdo.
Not since I'm getting old. Because this is.
What? Tell me about it, bro.
So I wanted to ask you what your favorite like style of beat to use for your music is, because I've noticed it's not like your typical hip hop or rap beats that
it's like
you use.
The song that What I'm Made Of or Summertime is on. Like it's like a boppy, vibey, like upbeat, where I can flow fast and slow and just like show everything that I can do in a way. Those are my favorite kinds to flow on.
Yeah,
I could spin on them at any time.
Super crazy. It leaves you room to do whatever you want.
Kind of like I'll use Tech Nine as an example. Some of the beats he uses, he can flow in a way where the beat goes with him or he goes with the beat, either or. So I really like the beat too for I'll use the song again. When it's bad, it don't last. It sounds, what do you use, like a ukulele?
Yeah, there's a ukulele.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It sounded like a ukulele, and I really liked it.
You know that? Did you watch the video? Him in the crick with the floral shirt on. Somebody, and this is why I need to start releasing my music sooner, because I had wrote that song a year before I dropped it, but I had dropped it about 8 months after this other guy had dropped a song with the same beat, with the same type of style shirt on, in
No
the
way.
same similar setting.
Oh,
Is he local?
But his song is different. It's a good song, but it's different than mine.
So they
in a
thought
way.
you
It's
were
similar vibes, but
ripping
mine's
him off.
his is more like smoking and drinking, vibing in the summertime. Mine's more like good vibes, like giving you affirmations. That's what that song is more of. And but it was like so similar. Like we're on the same wavelength. And I Instagrammed him, but he never responded. Forget what his name is. It's on my phone, but yeah, it was very similar.
That is how it happens. I think we've all seen. It is kind of crazy how things like that happen because people have the similar interests and everything. They do kind of think alike, but we've all seen the videos where the same empty white room has been used by so many artists. It was used by like Britney Spears, the Backstreet Boys, Eminem, different rock bands. It's like that weird, deep, white, empty room with just like the drop down lights, and it's been used in hundreds of music videos. It's just like, well, we can't think of anything to add during this 10-second skit right here, so we're just gonna put you in this empty room with lights on, and that's it. So it's just one of those things where maybe that vibe for you, it felt right and it would work, and that's what he was feeling too, because this is kind of the aesthetic you're going for it. So
yeah.
So the next question I had for you is like, how do you see or envision your music evolving in the future?
To be honest, I have no idea, because I didn't expect where I'm at now by far. Like it's way more than I expected, and I'm grateful for that, for sure. So whatever it does evolve to, I'm sure it'll be just as great, if not more, hopefully.
If you could jump to a different genre to try out a song, what would it be? Like country or
Right now, probably just
like something super different.
Kind of like Jamaican music mixed with folk music. Like the beat, like a Jamaican beat mixed with like a folk beat.
Okay.
With like a good gnarly pop type song guitar. I'm actually started a band right now, so we're working on some things.
that's dope.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to see.
Does the band have a certain genre, or are they
they're in
kind of mixing?
They're both in a heavy metal band right now.
Okay.
But they're versatile. They can do anything. They're good.
I mean, that's what makes a truly good artist, right?
I mean, sometimes heavy metal can even go good with hip hop and rap. So.
That's another one I wanted to do is heavy metal.
Yeah, look at Vanilla
Mixed.
Ice back in his like third album he made.
Yeah, like Endless Nights, the song I did that. It was probably the heaviest song I've made, which isn't even really heavy. But I'd like to see where my limits are eventually.
I wish I could remember the name of this artist. He suffers a little bit from like bipolar disorder, but he's a rapper that does a lot of like heavy metal screaming in his songs. He's on YouTube. I'll have to look it up when we're done filming. I could bring it to you. It might be something that kind of gives you a little push or kind of like a vision towards it. He's one of my favorites, and I every once in a while, when I'm feeling a little bit on edge or off about something, his music does help me.
He's one of your favorites, and you can't remember his name?
Yeah, because it's been a while since I've been in that state where I've had to like pull him up.
X used to do that a lot. He would just scream randomly, and it actually sounded pretty good.
Yeah, I'm completely pulling a blank. It'll probably come to me as soon as we're done or in the middle of another
That always
conversation.
happens.
Yeah.
I know there's a few things I wanted to say, and I forgot.
I have really bad like recall. Like I'm very, very bad at being able to recall certain information. Names, especially names.
It's not falling in reverse, is it?
No. That's
Ronnie
Rodney
Radke?
Radke.
He's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
They
a
did
little
a-
demonic on the side, but
They did a song with Tech Nine, and I thought that song was phenomenal. Again, maybe it's my bias because I love Tech Nine.
Yeah.
Ronnie's kind of an asshole, but
I've heard that.
he's oh yeah, it's just the way he grew up. He is a bit of he'll tell you how it is and he's not nice about it, but
It's kind of nice.
the man is so fucking talented. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of his rapping, but I mean, when
He's gotten better. I mean, when he first started, it was a little amateur like.
yeah,
But when he'll do this, he'll do the rapping and then he'll do the singing and screaming. And
yeah,
you
now
can tell
it's-
what he's been doing for 20 years
Mm-hmm.
compared to
back in the day with Escape the Fate.
yeah.
So, did you plan on trying to do grassroots again next year?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it every year.
Awesome.
And last year was my first year ever going to
Wait,
grassroots.
you've never even been to
Never
grassroots?
been. This was my second year going.
Oh man, that's the only festival I've ever been to.
And every time I go to
grassroots.
a show or a festival, I see people on stage, and I'm just like, I need to be up there. Like I don't even want to be out here right now. I want to be up there vibing with them. Because I remember going to a show and seeing Haley Jane probably came out on 4 different band sets just to sing with them. Like she's like a floating butterfly between all the music.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was pretty dope. Like I'd like to be able to do that. You know,
Any
sing with
other
multiple bands?
Festivals in the area, or just bigger festivals that are on like your bucket list that you'd love to perform at?
Bonnaroo is a big goal. Like
Bonnaroo is a
like
big
to-
one.
Hopefully, in the next 5 years, they hit me up to come perform at Bonnaroo.
That would be nice.
It's
Where's that
huge.
usually at?
Tennessee, right? Yeah.
Manchester.
Oh, okay.
It's a big one.
That's one of my bucket list festivals. Everyone thinks I'm a big festival head, and I'm like, yo, I've only ever been to grassroots. Like,
Really?
I love the festival vibe, but I've only ever been to grassroots. I'm not a big fan of big crowds.
Make sure that you go to Bonnaroo. It's a good lineup,
Yeah.
but it's either way, it's gonna be fun.
We were trying to do Elements Fest down in the Poconos last year, but again, it was an issue trying to find something to do with our dog for the whole weekend because he had some separation anxiety issues. We couldn't take him anywhere. So, like, I want to get over that dislike and that fear of big crowds. Like, I hate big crowds.
No.
That's why, like, grassroots was like the most I could do. That's why I avoid big cities.
Well, if you want to do a festival that's not crazy big crowd, but it's a really good vibe.
Sterling.
Well, there's Sterling, but there's Lake George Memorial Meltdown, and that whole festival I swear was formed around Twiddle.
Okay.
Like the following there, they're always usually there for Mahali, the
Mhm.
band. That's what it is now because they quit touring
Mm-hmm.
as Twiddle. And I went last year. It's still the same vibe, but it's only like the size of Wisner Park.
Okay. It's not too big.
Yeah, and a good amount of people go. It's real laid back. Probably the best vibe festival I've been to.
I think that's one of the reasons I was trying to go see Subtronics in Buffalo back in February because it's like, man, I want to go to a dubstep show, but I know I'm going to have to face a packed, crowded area in order to do such.
Them dubstep shows are fun, but sometimes the vibes be off. Like people be high strung and just being weird.
People taking too much.
Yeah, just
See, I'm the type. If I were to go to a dubstep show, people would probably see the way I'm dancing around and be like, "Yo, that kid is on something heavy right now," and it'd be like, "Nope, I'm just sober, whiling out, just head banging out to the music, having a good time." I'd probably have a panic attack if I tripped at a dubstep show.
yeah, no.
Couldn't do it.
So have you been to a lot of different concerts?
A lot, yeah.
Yeah. Is there a genre that you don't really vibe with, like with the crowd or something like that? Is there a certain genre of music or an atmosphere that hasn't given you like such a good experience?
So I've had a pretty good experience at every show. I've had a couple bad experiences, but I don't know if it was because of the crowd or the genre of music. Sometimes they get a little much.
A little rowdy.
Some of the rock shows or rap shows. So I do tend to stick to more hippie stuff, like jam band. It's just chilled and laid back. And I'm not all wild like I used to be, so.
Yeah. I know a lot of metal concerts and things used to be my thing, and it's just it's a really good place to get out a lot of frustration, for sure.
Crowd surfing's one of my favorite things. Circle pits, wall of death, all that stuff is just, that was my thing back in the day.
Yeah.
I always wanted to join them, but
That's about
I was
as
afraid
rough
I'd
as
get
it
hurt.
gets.
Man,
I mean, that's the point. You know?
I remember being
first mosh pit I was ever involved in, I watched a friend of mine get a gash like that thick above his eye, and they had to call an ambulance to take him to the hospital from the show. It was at a Five Finger Death Punch show in Jacksonville, North Carolina. It was the opening act, and it was only the second song. I think the act's name was
song?
I think the act's name was 2 Cents. But yeah, opening act, second song, some 250-pound dude just swinging his elbows, and my buddy Anthony walked his eyelid right into the dude's elbow, and that didn't end well.
Like, you were talking about Warped Tour earlier?
Yeah.
And my first time doing the Wall of Death, this probably 6'4" Brock dude's like, "Yo, you, get on my shoulders." I get on his shoulders, right? I'm on my knees, ready to stand up as we run. We got the whole crowd lined up, ready to run into each other. And as we run into each other, I launch off this man into the crowd coming at us. Like, I couldn't do that these days at all.
Oh, yeah,
Or like
for
the crowd
sure.
surfing.
When we were young, when we had that kind of like indestructible mentality, we were just full of adrenaline
and if you did get hurt, your
testosterone.
body regenerates better.
Yeah, way
Yeah.
better. I remember crowd surfing and you know who
Yeah,
Attila
that was
is?
loud.
You know who the band Attila?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they were in mid saying 666 party with the devil bitch, and I dapped him up midair as I'm crowd surfing. Lost my shoe, and the two dudes just dropped me on the ground, and that turned into a two-stepping pit.
Oh,
If you know what a two-stepping pit is, where people are just basically just like you said, throwing elbows and hands. It's not a normal mosh pit. Like
these people
pushing
just
each
want to
other.
fight each other.
Yeah, I
People
wish I
just-
could still do that stuff though.
People just looking to cause some violence in those.
Yeah,
They just close their eyes and start swinging, and whoever they hit, they hit.
it is what it is. Yeah, to be young like that again. Now getting off the floor too quick. You get dizzy, your back cracks, and then all of a sudden you're in a hospital.
I get dizzy standing up too quick if I've been squatting for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
It's bad, man.
To get old, these flesh machines.
I don't know if
are
I'd call
built
it
to
old.
last.
I'm not old. I'm just not young anymore. We'll just put it like that.
I'm just existing.
You're in that weird middle ground, you know?
Nah.
They call it midlife for a reason.
So, if you had 3 dream collaborations, like any 3 famous artists, and it could be in history too, like even go back in a time machine to do a collaboration with any 3 artists,
Oh, like Beethoven or something.
who would it be?
That's a good one. I definitely want to do a Kid Cudi collab.
Ooh, I miss him. I miss Cudi. It's been a while. His
He's
music
got
was
some new
deep.
stuff out, but it doesn't resonate like his other ones. I said that word too many times today. I'm gonna not use that. What's another one?
Johann Bach.
J. Cole for sure. J. Cole, Kid Cudi, and then it's a hard one because there's just so many artists out there. So many.
Oh, that was his name, Jake.
Oh, you know what? Sublime.
Oh,
Like the
I like
original
that.
guy?
I like that. I think your
The
style
original, yeah,
I think your style would go good with that.
yeah. That guy was dope. To go back in the history one, give you one of those.
Speaking of Sublime, his son does music.
Yeah, I guess they changed it from Sublime in Rome to back to Sublime because his son is doing it.
Well, he still has his band Law.
Law?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah, they're super good. They definitely have Sublime.
Never heard
influence,
them. I'm gonna have to check them out. I remember hearing Kid Cudi for the first time in 2008 and
That
having
sounds
like
about
some
right,
of his old mixtape stuff and bringing it home from when I came home for 2 weeks from Iraq. And I was listening to it, and people were like, "Yo, who is this?" I was like, "Some dude named Kid Cudi from Ohio. I'm in the Marine Corps with a kid from Ohio that knows who he is." And people were like, "Yeah, I've never heard of him." I was like, "Yeah, me neither, but I fucking love his music."
That's pretty dope.
So it was cool getting to hear some of like his underground mixtape stuff. Like when he worked with Chip the Ripper, there was some stuff he did with Chip the Ripper back in like 2008. I think Chip the Ripper goes by King Chip now, doesn't he? Or something like that. Yeah, because I had a couple friends from Ohio that were listening to their music.
Yeah, Ohio's got good music. MGK, Kid Cudi.
MGK
Probably my
was
top five.
MGK was another one that I heard before he got real famous, just because of the people in the Marine Corps from Ohio.
He's great.
Hmm
He's definitely showed his versatility on a lot of genres.
Yeah, people hate on him for switching up genres the way he did, but I mean,
I like that.
He's been
Did
doing-
Travis Barker.
He's been touching base with other genres since before he was famous.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot
I've-
of people
rock
like
rap.
to say that his genre switch was because Eminem
It's
killed
not.
him.
He dropped a whole rap album after that, anyways.
Yeah.
well, I've seen
And then he
Post
did
Malone recently getting some hate for switching up and,
country.
and doing some country, but people forget he was singing in country bars before
Gotta
he
let
got
the artist-
famous.
Yeah.
So let the artist be art,
He
Do your
started
thing.
with like rock and
yeah, it's like if you don't like his new stuff, listen to his old stuff.
he's got plenty of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Too many haters out there, man.
Mhm.
You listen to 2000s music, people are like, "Why is this trash?" It's better than a lot of stuff that's out right now, man. Every once in a while, I listen to Michael Jackson. Everything, people are like, "Wow, why are you listening to him?" The fucking king of pop,
Oh,
my
yeah.
guy.
I
Like,
always
what do
go
you
back to
mean?
him.
Why am I listening to him?
Yeah, what's
Have
your
you ever watched the music video for Thriller? It's a
what's your
fucking
what's your favorite
masterpiece.
Michael Jackson song?
Probably either Beat It.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's my favorite
What
one.
the
about
whole
you?
album Beat It was amazing.
What about you, Russ? You brought up Michael Jackson. What's your favorite Michael Jackson song?
And then there's Billie Jean.
Another
Yeah.
good one.
He had a new one out too. The newest one he did.
Billie Jean was really famous, but I would have to say,
Smooth Criminal. And then Alien Ant Farm did that remix.
there's so
Fire.
many. He had so many hits. But I just remember as a kid, I was obsessed with him, and I wore a white glove for so long. And then I had his like 1990s VHS release of all of his greatest music videos.
It's pretty dope.
The Free Willy song, the song he did for the Free Willy movie.
I'd have to go back through his discography and kind of listen to
Yeah.
it all and see it. 'Cause
And,
that's a tough one.
There was another music video where it was just like people around the world, and the face kept transitioning to different people.
One of my favorites
But-
by him is probably
Probably
They Don't Really Care About Us.
probably Smooth Criminal.
I don't know if you've ever heard that one.
Yeah.
They Don't Really Care About Us. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Yeah, I fucking love that
That was
song.
a good one. I
Yeah.
forgot about that one.
King of Pop, man. All because
Yeah, I
his,
mean,
his
listen to
father
that.
was abusive.
So you got anything else you want to talk about with your music, or Anything personal?
No,
Got most of it out?
I think that's
All right. Yeah.
pretty good chat.
I'll get up with you later on this evening or tomorrow so I can have you send me all your links for all your streaming sites. I can put them in the description, and I think there's a way I can put them in like the end screen too when I upload the video, where the links will like pop up on the screen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I could make that and send you. It'll be like a 5-minute thing.
I think there's a way that you can do it right on YouTube where you put the links in and they'll pop up on the screen.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You can do them
Yeah, it's
either
like
as like
follow
a timestamp thing or yeah.
So that way I can have like your iTunes,
Do you have
Apple
your-
Music,
do you
YouTube,
know what all your handles are?
SoundCloud.
I have them on my phone.
We'll pull
Yeah,
them
if you
up
send
and do a
me
little
those
outros.
links, we can put them in there. So, thank you again for coming on today. We appreciate it.
For sure.
Glad we
Thanks
got
for
to
having
talk
me.
to you about your music. Your song "Summertime" is when it first came out. I was like, "Oh, this is my favorite song to come out of Elmira," and could have easily been recency bias, but it's definitely still top 3. My other 2 are probably by Jake Skinkle. I don't know if you ever heard his music, listen to his music. I really like his music, but
Two-Face is probably my favorite. That's why I did the stitch to it. It's
my
great.
favorite from him is God.
God.
Yeah, I really love that song. But yeah, your song "Summertime," I want hopefully any of our listeners can listen to it, share it around, help make it go viral, because it's definitely one of those songs that I feel like could easily go viral.
Can we put things
Hopefully.
in the description yet
For
YouTube?
YouTube, yeah.
Because I remember for a while there we weren't able to put like links or anything in the description.
Oh yeah, I think that was just like a 3-month or 2 month
Okay.
something.
So we'll
time.
definitely be
Yeah,
able to
like-
link
Yep.
directly to him.
Yeah.
And all of his social medias and everything.
And the link for the song "Summertime" itself, because
Yeah.
we talked about that one the most. All right, you want to kick that outro?
Yep. Thank you, Andy, for coming on. It was a nice little conversation we had. Yeah, it was a good day. It was a good talk. And thanks everyone for watching, listening. What are we doing next week?
Next week I won't be here, but
Oh, that's right.
we'll figure
Well,
something
next
out for
episode.
2 weeks.
Don't
Yeah, we
worry
got-
though.
we got
I'll
2
send
weeks
a
to figure
group
it out.
message on Sunday and be like, "When are we meeting up tomorrow?"
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll be busy editing up all the wedding photos.
for sure.
Alrighty. Yeah. Subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. And until next time, goodbye.